So hi. Now how many times does it happen that you feel like your life has turned into a film? Like, there's emotions, there's drama, there's comedy, and there are villains, right? So the story that you are going to hear today, this story, is the most filmy real life story that you'll ever hear in your life. Okay, my name is Vineeta Kumar. I'm a journalist, I'm an entertainment editor, I'm a millennial, and this is my story. So, I was born and brought up in Old Delhi, Purani Delhi. How many of you have been there? Yeah, so it's congested, it's very full of struggle, it's unpleasant sometimes, But it has the heart of the capital. The capital's heart lies there. But one thing that you won't know about Old Delhi, unless you have lived there, is that, people there learn every day and people there earn every day, Every time you visit there or you would know people who live there, you would know that they just never give up, They rot in hell, but they don't give up, So I was born and brought up in Purani Delhi. Why I'm telling you this is, you'll come to it about it later. Like a regular girl, I did my schooling, I did my college. I was Delhi University passed out. I did journalism. I stepped into the journalism. Why I wanted to journalism is another interesting story. Hear this out. So I had a huge crush on Irfan Pathan. Who knows him? Cricketer Irfan Pathan, right? So I wanted to talk to him. I wanted to just make him say, "Hi, Vineeta." So I had a huge crush on him. So I charted out my path to talk to him when I was in 6th standard. I thought the easiest way to do is do the journalism, become a sports reporter, and one day you'll get to interview him, and that's it. So when I got done with my journalism course, I strategically got the job into the sports field. I joined the sports department at an organization. I was a trainee there. One day, I think within 10 days of joining the organization, I was asked to line up Irfan Pathan for a TV show. The anchors there, like they have this tiny phone icon on the show where you get the so-and-so, such a so-and-so celebrity, they're just talking to you on call, So I got to line up Irfan for that. I talked to him, and the moment he said, "Hi Vineeta, thank you," and okay, I'll be there on the show at this time, I was done, and there began my Ab Kya Karu movement. That was my Ab Kya Karu movement, within 10 days of entering into the industry, I was done. I didn't know what to do, so I gave myself another big challenge. So I didn't know anything else, I had done journalism, I was done with the course, I didn't know any other thing to do, right? So what else? The second challenge I gave to myself was, okay, one day let me interview Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, the mega star Bachchan, right? Now I thought that, okay, it will take years and, I'll reach there. So I was constantly, slowly I transitioned myself from a sports journalist to an entertainment journalist. I switched companies, I learned entertainment, I started, visiting all these press conferences, I started covering all these media events, started interviewing celebs, I started watching movies, TV shows, musicians, everything I started doing. So I was in the middle of switching company one day. Within 3 days, I had to join some other company. This was in September 2016. Mr. Bachchan's Pink, the movie, I don't know if you guys have watched it, was going to be released. And I get a call in the evening that your exclusive interview with Mr. Amitabh Bachchan has been lined up for tomorrow in Bombay. Now, I had only a morning window to absorb everything up, plus I was on my notice period. So, it was a lot of things to absorb in the one go. And, but everything, I just was thinking of what would I do if I, meet Mr. Bachchan the next day. So I just went out to shop, I got the best dress, jo bhi market khula tha wahan se. I took the flight the next morning, I landed in Bombay, and I visited the venue. The manager told me that, "Listen, Vineeta, Mr. Bachchan is not in his best of the mood. So I'm giving you the last slot. There are multiple interviews that happen in a day. But be careful, do not make him be annoyed on camera, because a lot of instances had happened. So I was just focused, and because I was nervous, I planned my interview, everything happened, Mr. Bachchan enters, there's a pin drop silence. Mr. Bachchan enters with Shujit Sarkar, who was the director of Pink. He enters, and everything goes silent. He comes, he sits, and he looks up, and he says, Vineeta. I said, yes. He said, aap interview karengi. I said, yes, sir. He says, aapke saath kaun hai? I said, this. He says, the rest of the people? I said, I don't know, sir. He said, 1, 2, 3. Before I say 3, the rest of the people have to move out. And trust me, he was snapping, and before he could complete his third snap, the entire hall was empty. That was his command. That was his power. So the interview happened, it went, by God's grace, it went really well. He answered all the questions. He answered all the fans' questions. He signed all the marks, and everything happened. And then he got up, he left. Shujit also got up, he left. And I'm looking at him leaving, and I fell off the chair. And I fainted. The only thing I remembered was that Shujit Sarkar came running back to me. He held me and he said, okay, you have to stay right there, drink some water, I'm coming. I'm just going out to escort him. After that, there's all blank. I don't remember what happened. But only thing I remembered is that in that moment while I was sitting in that chair, a realization hit me ki ab kya karu? Bachchan, done. So I thought that, okay, let's just stop giving ourselves challenges. Let's just go with the flow. So, I started working and everything was going well. Then, that phase comes in when you fall in love. So, yeah, that happened. I got married. A beautiful man in my life, just like, calm to the wind, the storm that I was. Beautiful family I was introduced to. We all, came together. It was a happy, fun life. I took a break for a few months, and before joining the other company. Till now, at work, everything was happy-go-lucky. Till now, at work, I thought that if you have a plan in mind, if you have, hard work in place, everything will go okay for you. I didn't know. I joined back after, 3-4 months of my wedding. And I didn't know that the new job that I was joining, it wouldn't be the best of the places that I would be working at. I was harassed. I was asked not to work, not to bring the same thing to the plate that I was hired for in the first place. That was my first brush with the reality of life, the real hardship. My bosses didn't want me to go out. My bosses didn't want me to watch movies. They just wanted me to work, write, and go home, with odd shift hours, with everything that you can possibly think can go wrong for you at work. I stuck. One day, I just barged into my boss's cabin, and I said, you are doing this? Are you doing this for me to quit? Now, let me tell you, I'm not going to quit. If you want me to move out, fire me. Sometimes when you speak those words out of your own mouth, it makes you powerful. That day, in that moment, I felt powerful. I said, I am going to stay. If you want me to leave, fire me. Nothing happened. I stuck. Things changed, leadership changed, everything changed. I was at the same place, and things started coming back to me, somehow, by God's grace. Everything started coming back. I was, again, going out. I was watching movies. I was writing about them. I was meeting people. I was doing the journalism, journalism that I always wanted to do. I did that. One thing led to another. Months passed. In July 2021, a tumor hit me. It was 4-day consecutive headache that led me to the discovery, to the diagnosis of a tumor somewhere between my head, my neck, and my ear. We went to all the doctors that we could find in Delhi and in NCR. We sent our reports to multiple doctors across the country. All of them said that, it has to be operated. It was not a small lesion. It was a good lesion, but doctors were surprised that I did not have any visible symptoms. Headaches was a normal symptom that, that could be because of anything else as well, So that happened. We visited doctors in July next year. I thought, okay, this is the time. I have to get operated because, the other people were like, you are not even 30 and you're dealing with tumor. Don't get operated. Live with it for some time. But, I and my husband, it was getting very difficult for us to go out of that miserable time. So we decided to get it operated. Doctors told us that you would get your jawline cut. So there's going to be a permanent mark on my face. For a person who's been facing camera for 10 years, it's a big setback. We could not believe, but because I had the support of a very strong family, my friends, my team, amazing team at work, they told me that, everything will be here, nothing is going to be changed. Go out, take it as a journey, take it as an experience for your kids, I went to the OT. Right before I was stepping inside the operation theater, a doctor came in, held my jaw and said, "Ye to katega." Right when they were injecting me with anesthesia, I looked up, Dr. Munga, fantastic doctor. I looked up to him. I said, "Sir, do whatever you want to do. Just extract the entire tumor. I don't care wherever you're cutting me from. Just extract the entire tumor." I just remember saying that, and I just, went into anesthesia. I woke up. Doctors were surprised. All the 50 things that they told us would go wrong, hearing loss, voice alteration, half paralysis, the jawline cut and everything, none of that happened. That was a win of the entire family, of all my friends, all my well-wishers, amazing team at work. I came back, but then, soon I realized that the things at work weren't the same. They had already thought of replacing me, probably because they thought I'll never come back. So that was another fight. So during my recovery period, I had to join back within, say, 10 or 12 days, because I did not want to leave what I had, built with so much of hard work. I joined. Everything was going well. Things happened. In July last year, when I revealed about my diagnosis on Facebook, I wrote, I just put out all the pictures. I just went big with all my heart. A comment dropped from one of my friends, a junior at college, and she wrote, just like that, "Vineeta, you're so inspiring. I love you. You are going to give a TED Talk one day." This was exactly 1 year before. And I thought, okay, can it be my next mission, the goal? And now today, standing on this stage, the realization hits me right away, ab kya karu? So what I want to tell you is this: setbacks are the fantastic way to come back. Nothing makes you stronger than comebacks in life. Seek setbacks, do not fear them. Please never asking yourself, ab kya karu? Because unless you're asking yourself these questions, you are going to get the answers. If you're not asking the question, you will never get the answers. Please ask, ab kya karu? So that was my story. Thank you so very much for listening to it. Thank you. It's been a fabulous audience. Thank you.